And Pogačar, he is just picking them off one by one. Here comes Pac-Man Poggy.
Carapaz once more. Aggressive nature, because once again, as Robbie was describing before, Sean, just does what he can do. He'll stick to those numbers. He'll try and come back if they start falling out again.
Yes, well, Seb, of course, he doesn't have this explosive attack on a climb like this, and you have to just walk to your strengths, and that's what Seb Kuss is doing here. And
a couple of attacks happen. Steady state step. He rides his way back into the wheel, and when he feels that they've got to catch their breath, get a little bit of recovery from the accelerations, he goes himself.
But you're getting that ominous feeling. As Robbie said, look at that gap. It's down to just over a minute, and there's still 6.5 kilometres to ride for the group out in front. If ever there was a script to be written, to come from a long way back, to close a gap, to set the fastest time, to seal the Tour de France, to win on the legendary mountain, Tadej Pogačar might have just picked it up in the hotel this morning, and he is line by line to perfection. It's a glorious image. And once more, Tadej Pogačar is right at the centre of it.
Keep on pushing. We can see the man we're expecting on this mountain. He's doing the business, and when you see the cars going by as well, that is not a good sign for the riders out in front. And here he's just picking up more riders, and look at the way he's just sitting on that bike, turning the pedals there, looking like he's not under pressure at all, and the speed he's going, my God, he's flying up here.
And the two riders in front of him, Rubio and Johannesson, are the last two riders on the road before he gets to the lead trio. And get to them, it looks like he may well do, Robbie.
Bring up the road.
Coming through again. I'll be getting used to this now. 1 minute left to close. A reminder, it was 3.5 at the bottom. And there are still 5.5 to ride.
Well, that gap dropping quickly on screen, but you've also got to consider that the motorbike with the camera and the GPS equipment, they float a little bit forwards and backwards depending on crowd density, etc. It's hard to know exactly all the time, but it's giving us 38 at the moment. They're right with Tadej Pogačar. He is coming quick. It's still not a given that Tadej Pogačar is going to catch them
quickly, but Seb Kuss is doing a real good pull there. That's what they need to do. Just go to the front, one rider, pull for 150, 200 metres, and then the other rider do the same. They should have been doing that much earlier, as we can see. Pogačar is coming up very quickly, but still 4.2 to go here. I think it's just going to be that little bit too much for the three leaders out in front to hold on.
Martinez, a future king anointed, but here's the goat. In yellow, already 4 wins in this tour, looking for number 5, but it's not the numbers he wants today, it's the name, it's the place, it is that set piece, monument climb, Alpe.
The crowd is incredible. It's like the United Nations of cycling fans. And looking at the faces and seeing the cheers, the encouragement, it's like the spectators, all these fans have made their way to Alpe d'Huez. They want the mythical climb to be won by what's quickly becoming the mythical man.
But he wants them out the way. You could see the hand there, the gestures. Here I come. And he's at 20 seconds now. He will soon see them up the road. And here through this arch, he does see them. Tadej Pogačar makes visual contact with 4 kilometres still to ride.
And into the barriers, into the open air, and a much better view. And Tadej Pogačar, he can see his prey. The apex predator is on the way.
Well, Pogačar is on his way to make contact, as Robbie was just saying. Here he is. They will look round and think, oh no, not again. Behind very quickly, Riccitello made contact with Sixas, and he's pulling that group now. There they go. They look behind. Oh, we've got to get a move on, guys.
Yes, well, we can see here that they can, just look over the shoulder. They can see Pogačar coming up, and it's going to be an interesting one. How much Pogačar has, given here to get up to those guys, because the gap was a big one. He has closed it real well, and now we're coming into the final 3.5 kilometres. It does get a bit easier as well in this section. Then as you go into Alpe itself, it just gets more steep on that last number of kilometres there. Will there be some of them fancy their chances in the sprint against this man? But I think Pogačar, will he wait to the sprint when he comes up here? Will he just put in that big attack once again and just distance the three riders we have here in the front end of race?
I don't think Pog wants to go to a sprint. I think he'd love to cross the line alone. The interesting thing to see will be, how does he approach crossing the last part of this gap? Is it really tempo, already kind of saving something in a little bit of recovery, just loading the battery up? And then how long does he stay with them when he gets there? Does he try and go straight away?
Evenepoel makes the move. Sorry to interrupt, but this is the man in second place who's taken off. The rest must chase. We're looking at those in front as he tries to get ahead. Evenepoel himself going like a motorbike. Never mind trying to pass it. And then we are looking to Sixas, to Del Toro, to see how they react. At the front, they react before he gets to him. It's chaos on the mountain. Sepkus with another attack.
Absolute chaos further down, and caught in a traffic jam was Remco Evenepoel. Kuss's acceleration matched by Martinez and Carapaz, but they just know it's inevitable. The man in yellow is almost on.
Well, they're trying to chase at the moment. Here is Evenepoel. He's attacked the 4Ks to go now. Sixas himself is going to go out and search. Look here at the man in the multicoloured jersey. That's Skiermoser.
Carapaz, the answer didn't come from Sepp Kuss. Martinez tried. He can't go. He looks overseas. Pogačar to Richard Carapaz, now on the loose, and it will be 100% effort from now as far as he can get, and he hopes that it's as far as the finish line.
Pogačar catches Kuss. He goes past Martinez. For the first time on this climb, it was Carapaz unanswered. 2.5 kilometres to go. The stopwatch is on, by the way. Reminder, those records, 37 minutes. But there he is, the man in yellow. He had him in his sights.
Yes, well, we can see here that Pogačar is still continuing on to set this real strong pace here, and that's the way he's been doing it all over the mountain. A little bit of more movement on the bike maybe there because of the effort he has put in here, because he has put in what an effort from the right from the earlier slopes of the Alpe here. He's been just time trialling up this one all the way, and Carapaz, when he gets out in front, he's a real fighter, and he's holding very well, but it is coming down slowly, and everybody is pretty much on the limit here now, and in these final 2 kilometres is going to be an interesting one. When Pogačar does come up, does he just attack over the top immediately?
Del Toro. Questions about how he's been. The answer here is that it looks as though he could be putting Paul Sixas further from the podium and the white jersey on a day when France began with plenty of dreams. But France might still be dreaming here, because as Pogačar gets close to Carapaz, there are 2 kilometres to go. So sits Lenny Martinez right on the wheel.
But Martinez has done an incredible job to be able to follow Tadej Pogačar back across this gap, which still isn't closed yet. And Richard Carapaz, he's fighting. He's making Tadej Pogačar really hurt himself to close every single centimetre of this gap. But there it is, Pac-Man Pog. He's got them all.
Tadej Pogačar, just under 2 kilometres from the summit, completes the catch of 3.5 minutes he started at the bottom. However this ends, that was absolutely exhilarating. And now the games begin for the stage win, and a chance as they come through town here to add their name to the most famous roll of honour in mountain climbing.
Yes, and we can see Carapaz is continuing to make a nice pace here at the front, and that suits Tadej, because he just needs that little bit of a rest point after just making this effort here. And it's going to be an interesting one as we go to the line. Pogačar goes here.
Tadej Pogačar with the attack. Tadej Pogačar moves, and at the minute he can't distance them, and that is a change to usual advertised programming. Carapaz on the wheel, Martinez in third. It's a real competition, this. They've gone through the named and celebrated corners. Each bend, every metre lined with history. They're in the town now. The fans are here, and they're getting the show they wanted. One of the most celebrated and storied of ascents is getting one of the best chapters in its history.
Well, Tadej Pogačar coming out of the tunnel knew it was the right moment to go. Little steep kicker, had a go at making that acceleration. Quickly looked over, said it's just not for now, not with that gap he's had to close. And it's going to be an intriguing battle between these three if it does indeed become a sprint to the line. I wonder if Pogačar's got one more in him to see if he can offload.
1 kilometre to go on Alpe d'Huez. Tadej Pogačar with Carapaz, with Martinez Sean, and he can't yet shake them.
No, well, he did give a try there, but he see immediately they're in the wheel and just continues on setting this race. It goes downhill a little bit here, and again he's just testing them, but we can see, I think they're all going to be able to follow here in the wheel, and in the sprint it's going to be an interesting one.
Opening.
Now the gap, 800 metres. Tadej Pogačar knowing now that every pedal stroke takes him closer to a place in history. He doubles down, he grits his teeth. The most incredible ascent, rapid time, and another great story about to be added to a legend. Alpe d'Huez, Tour de France, and Tadej Pogačar is going to conquer it. Now he's not just winning stages, he is reshaping the record books. Pogačar had to win here. It was written in the stars. Destined to do it on the most legendary of mountains. It's not just the fact he's going to do it, it's the way in which he has done it today. The questions about illness. Would his team be strong enough? A break getting almost 5 minutes. A 3.5 minute gap closed from bottom to top. Tadej Pogačar collecting monument climbs. Here he is in the yellow jersey. And now just 3 days from joining the 5-time Winners' Club. Tadej Pogačar is here to cement his name on the Roll of Honour of the mighty Alpe d'Huez. It's Pogačar on Alpe d'Huez. It is the fastest ever ascent, and Tadej Pogačar seals it with a fairy tale, Hollywood-style script win.
Phenomenal.